This stuff you Yerushalmi Challah, and the article goes by addition with 10 lines to the top of Yud Aleph from Aleph, maybe 0, and that's 10 lines to the bottom of Von Beis in the Vilna. So Rabbi Zero is going to tell us just general information, not related to Challah, about Hava Shlish by Meiser. Why is Hava Shlish the cutoff point for Meiser before it's not put for Meiser after it's Chayiv? Rabbi Zero Kasiva Serta says Kol Vazarach Hadava Shu Nizor Matzmiach. Okay, something which if you plant, it's going to grow. That's the Chayiv Meiser. Yatsa Pachas Mishlish excludes less than a third. She Nizor Ena Matzmiach. If you plant it, it doesn't grow. Those seeds are not suitable to be planted. Those are the part of the Meiser. Okay, now getting back to Challah. Pshita Ad Rabbanan. So the had in our Mishnah, Rabbanan, right? Or the Gemara said, the Mishnah had said that Tvua Shalevi Shlish, according to Rabbi Lezer, is part of Challah, and the inference was, of course, that what Rabbanan said, that Tanakama said, Tvua Shalevi Shlish is Chayav in Challah. Was an inference. He said explicitly. So anyway, so according to Pshita Rabbanan, Ba'im Pachas Mishlish and Nigral and Meisers. Even when Rabbanan is Mechai Pachas Mishlish for Challah, it's not going to be Nigral and Meisers. There's no concept of greater than Meisers. By Challah, we had a concept that if you have a dough, which is primarily Chi of Challah, and part of it is a rice. So the rice is Nigrar, it's tafel to the primary Chiyuv, and it can add on, and it's mitzdarif in order to make up a shear of Chiyuv Challah. But there's no such thing by Meisers, no concept of Nigrar. So therefore, whatever is Pachas Mishlish remains part of the Meisers, even in a mixture. That's obvious. Now, but Chia Bar Yosef Sha'al, Al Daite Rabbi Lezer, according to Rabbi Lezer, who holds that Challah, the Pachas Mishlish is part of Challah, Maushi and Nigra, in Challah, Kisosar is at least have the Mila of rice, that it can be Nigra and make up the shear of 5/4 in order to be Chayiv in Challah, or not, and it's a fascinating question, but doesn't answer it. Okay, Shmuel asked, Shmuel Barabba boy, Shmuel asked, Ezu Chodesh v'Yoshim Sheb'Challah. How do we define Chodesh and Yoshim Challah? That you can't take Challah off one batch of grain and another batch of grain. So shtei sodos. So you have two fields. Achaz evi shlish before Rosh Hashanah. That's the cutoff point. You have one which is maybe shlish before Rosh Hashanah. Achaz pachzish, and you have one which is not maybe shlish yet Rosh Hashanah. Challah achaz. For Challah, they're both in the same category. L'maiser shtein. So since we're going according to Rabbanan, well that. There is a chi of challah, and even if he pachas mishlish, so therefore, it doesn't matter that one was maybe shlish, one wasn't maybe shlish. If you made a dough combining the produce from both of these, they both be chayiv in challah, and they can be mafresh from one or the other. I should say you'd be allowed to make a dough from both of these and mafresh the challah from one or the other. But for Maisa, they're separate because one which is maybe shlish of Rosh Hashanah is relevant, is taken Maisa from with last year's crop, and one is maybe shlish after Rosh Hashanah is Maisa with next year's crop. So again, l'chal achas Maisa shnaim, achas pachas mishlish, v'achas asabim. What if one is less than a shlish for Rosh Hashanah and one is grass? It's not even maybe shlish. There's no recognizable grain whatsoever. So l'chal is time. So v'chal it's 2 because the grass is not chayiv and has no chiyav challah. So therefore, whatever is grass by Rosh Hashanah can't be joined with challah with that which is maybe shlish, pachas mishlish, livnei Rosh Hashanah, because that pachas mishlish, since at least it was grain of some sort, it's already chayiv and challah. So those two, you can't take produce in those two fields and combine them and make a dough in order and be mafresh challah from that dough on both components thereof. But for Mises, it's one. Because for Miser, they're both, neither them reached only its Mises for Rosh Hashanah. So they're both part of the Yoshon. One of one actually is maybe Shlish for Rosh Hashanah, and the other is just grass. So Ben L'Chala, Ben L'Maiser Stein. So obviously, both for Chala and Mises, they are two separate fields, right? Because you can't combine them together. Because the one which is Asovim is for sure next year's. It's until after Rosh Hashanah, it's not chayiv neither Meisers nor Challah. And the one which is Hevi Shlish before Rosh Hashanah, for sure is already chayiv in both Meiser and Challah at that time. So therefore, you have to Meiser from them and take Challah from them separately. Okay, so now the Gemara asks, Bein Asayim Mau. What's the din? The things which are not, which are in our Mishnah. And not mentioned the ratio with things which are Chaim, Chala, and Potter from Meiser, nor the things mentioned in the Seifa, which are Potter from Chala and Chaim and Meiser. And the Gemara is going to explain what they are talking about. And he brings down here in the Levi Yerushalmi, the Derech Yerushalmi is when the Tana has two bavos. These which are Chayiv and these are Potter, it asks Ben Asayim Mau. And I don't recall these examples, but evidently in Kilayim, Perek Zayin, Mishnah B'Brei Halacha Beis, and Nazir, Perek Zayin, Halacha Gimel, you have similar questions. Okay, so Rabbi Yerushalmi, in the meantime, before we even define the Bein Asayim, what are the middle cases? And where it says, Yerushalmi said, Bein Asayim Kovari Shoina. The middle cases are like the first scenario in the Mishnah, they're Potter and Meiser and Chayiv and Chala. Rabbi Yosef B'Shem Lakish says Bein Asayim, the middle cases are Kavach Chroina. They're Chayiv and Meiser and Potter from Chala. Hey, so Bein Asayim. What is the Bein Asayim? What are the middle cases? Ha'osa Isa min hat tevel. Somebody makes a dough from tevel. So now he has to take off truma and challah. So the question is, does he have to separate challah from the portion that's going to be, he's going to make truma? You have to separate truma from the portion which is going to be challah. And the Levi Yerushalmi explains here the reason why you would pater the truma from challah is because in the Mishnah we learned that in Meduma, we learned this yesterday, and Meduma is pater min challah because it says tarimu, and not that which already had truma taken off. Therefore, truma is pater from challah. And furthermore, since truma precedes challah, and it says anything which precedes it comes earlier in the precedence. The next thing is chayiv in it, and it's not chayiv in the next thing. So therefore, so what's the status here? So you made isa min hatevel before you took off truma. Also isa min hatevel. Chaya chala chayeves b'truma, u'truma chayeves b'chala. So we could have said it's like Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Rabbi Yoda. Could have said sorry Rabbi Yossi. They're both named Shimon ben Lakish. But the Brisa is neither like Rabbi Yonah nor like Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon Lakish. But the Chala is Chayiv and Truma, and the Truma is Chayiv and Chala. I was going to learn from a pasuk. So had we learned like Rabbi Yonah and Rabbi Shimon Lakish would have said that it's Potter from Truma and Chayiv and Chala. Had we learned like Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon Lakish would have said it's Chayiv in Truma and Potter from Chala. I hope I said that right. Let's do it again. According to Rabbi Yonah, it'd be Potter from Truma and Chayiv and Chala. According to Rabbi Yossi, it'd be Chayiv in Truma and Potter from Chala. Yeah. Okay. So but we say no. It's Chayiv in both. Why should that be? So the Minayin Shechayah Chayiv Truma. How the Chala is Chayiv in Truma. Notwithstanding logically we said. It's a shame of Yitzchak, Yitzchak Shem of Shmuel Bar Marsa, Shem Rav, Chala Tarimu Truma. Nechala Tarimu Truma. If you made the dough first, you still got to take off Truma, despite the fact that you take off Chala. Minayin Shah Truma Chayeves B'Chala. How you know that Truma is Chayev B'Chala? Min Kushay. So the Gemara says, because of a question, that we never found a drasha that truma is chayav in. Since we never found, in other words, we don't find a drasha that truma is chayav in chala. So it's from this pasuk itself, meaning. You know what, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to retract that. Nikushi, the way I explained it, was going like the near, which Levi Yerushalmi is down. But the Bnei Moshe and Red Baz have a much more glot shot here, or at least it's easier to deal with. Nikushi means from the Kushoi. From Kushoi means the rabbis who came from the place of Kushoi. Chasidus now of Kashal, right? Kosher. So evidently back then they were Amoraim who came from Kashal. But seriously, so they say that's the Kushoi learned it from the following pasuk. So forget what I said before from the question. Scratch that shot. Let's go with this shot. Pasuk Aden Kroi. They learn from this pasuk. Me'osher Kosaba Reishis Tarimu Chala. It says Reishis Arisol Sochem Chala Tarimu Truma. So it says we just quoted before Chala Tarimu Truma, right? But now we're looking at the word Reishis at the beginning. So we're learning like this. Chala Tarimu from the Truma, concerning which says Reishis to Gancha. So the in other words, Reishis, even though the Pashtan Pasuk is Reishis Hariso Seichem is also going to Chala, we say no, Reishis, from that Reishis, Tarimu Chala, you should take off Chala. So now, according to this, and the Nehemiah makes this point. So if according to this, it's simply Meduma, where the dough was mixed after Truma had fallen into it. That's part of Minachala. But you make Isa from dough from scratch, from Tevel, where the already is and now is a chi of Chala on the dough. Taking off Chala does not exempt you from taking off Truma. Truma does not exempt you from taking off Chala. You're chayv both. So Isa Meduma, which we learned yesterday, is butter, has nothing to do with Isa Mina Tevel. Isa Tevel is chayv. Conclusion in both. So the Bein HaSayim, Isa Mina Tevel, it's not like the ratio, it's not like the Seifa, it's not butter from one and chayv in the other, it's chayv in both. Okay, now the Gemara goes on to the substance mentioned in the Mishnah. Hasuf Ganin is Trikta. That's what they called it. Hadushanin is Male Gala. It happens to be that it's the Ritmatz brought down by Levi Shlein says it's dough which is needed from honey and milk. I guess Gala is milk in Greek. Veskratin is chalitin deshuk, type of very soft batter, which is sold in the marketplace. The chalas miswas is chalitin demai. They are it's like bagels. You dunk the dough in very hot water. And that's how it's made. Now we're going to go back and talk about trikta, but we're ready on the next. You'd basically also stop here for today.